Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we bring you Space Marine. Cheeky bit of Warhammer. And basically the title of today's stream is referring to this crazy boom of not only remasters. So I'm going to say since in the last 7-8 years, there's been this remaster onslaught, and it's not just been games either. It's been films. It's just like, oh Disney, let's remake everything. Let's remake it, but do it in real life. It's not even in real life. How can you make Lion King in real life? Ridiculous. But yeah, this is the remastered version of the 2011 cult classic Space Marine, developed by Relic and originally on the Xbox 360, a PS3, and PC. This is the Mastercrafted edition, and this is available to us on Xbox GamePass, which is where we play most of our games. So again, yes, this is an Xbox Game Pass dive into today, pretty much. This is basically an updated version for modern platforms with some improved visuals, some gameplay enhancements, and it was released on June 10th, so almost a month ago, for Xbox Series X and S and PC, and those on Game Pass. So, new campaign, let's start this. I've never played this before. I haven't even played the new one. So this is new to me. We're never going to start easy. We'd like to challenge ourselves a little bit on this channel. Let's get started, shall we? I have briefly played Warhammer game before, just not Space Marines. I have no idea what is happening. I probably should have been reading all that. Unacceptable. Oh, yes. This game is now basically available in native 4K, upgraded textures, better character models, rebooted UI, and remastered audio. Cigar. Includes the entire original game, as well as the DLC. And the gameplay is largely faithful to the original, keeping some nostalgic chunkiness with modernised controls for accessibility. Here we go!
Captain Titus, the Orcs have massacred the Forge World's forces, and they have taken the planetary defense weapons.
Clever of the damned Orcs. Keeps us off their backs while they loot the Titan war machine.
Brace for evasive maneuvers.
Pilot, report.
Starboard engine is dead, Sergeant. We are losing altitude.
Get the ship to safety. We'll find another way down.
Aye, Captain. Thunderhawk Lancer Joe returning to launch bay.
This is your plan.
We need to get to the surface to take out the gun battery. Or do you want to go home already, Sergeant?
Not before having a word or two with the orcs.
Is that wise, Captain? The Codex Astartes does not support this action.
Try to keep up.
Nice, Halo dropping in. Okay, so we start. Oh, a bit of orc smashing. How dare you, sir? Okay. So, critics score sort of give this a 70 out of 100. So we're looking at like a 70%. Ooh! This could be one of those games where it is a little harder to chat whilst I oh, yes. Pressing the wrong buttons. I thought there was other dudes in there. I need to execute, don't I? Executions bring back health. Talking about that. You know what, I'm going to stun you. Ooh. Who's the big man? Yeah, so they were giving it a 70 out of 100, which is enjoyable game, but not exactly groundbreaking. I'm in danger. I'm being rocketed. Oh, savage. The combat is quite satisfying on this. Why can't I rotate it? Oh, I can rotate it. So yeah, the critics are saying it's enjoyable but nothing groundbreaking. People, however, the fans themselves are basically saying it's a cash grab with minimal improvements and issues with UI and matchmaking. So it sort of brings me to this remastering thing. This is basically on a similar path to the movies. Are we just getting cash grabs, you know? Xbox GamePass feedback basically highlights nostalgic charm, junky in a good way, retains the original vibe through some graphical glitches persist. You know, it doesn't. The game to me currently doesn't necessarily look outstanding. If you're a Game Pass subscriber, it's possibly worth picking up, especially to relive or explore the brutal Ultramarines action if you've never done it, or if you have done it and you've enjoyed this game so much. If you're not a subscriber of Xbox Game Pass,
Captain
you
Titus,
might prefer
come
waiting
in.
for a sale,
Damned orcs shot me
or
off
sticking
course.
with the
I've had no word
2021
from Leandros,
anniversary
but
edition
I'm
that was on
picking up
PC.
Chatter from
Rendezvous.
Imperial Guard forces on the ground.
With
I
the
scarcely thought anyone
squad.
would be left alive, much less still fighting.
Heading towards the front lines now.
I will meet you there.
So a bit of a story overview. So those of you that played this will have an idea. I've never played it, but I've got an overview for us. Chapter 2, Against All Odds. So basically we're playing as Captain Titus. I do have an understanding. You may not have played the game, but there is a lot of lore around Warhammer. So a lot of people may already understand all this. There are, you know, animations and whatnot in line with all of this.
Give me up, boys.
What am I aiming and firing at?
Cover you lot.
Run, Forest. That's awesome. So basically, we're this badass Ultramarine of the Space Marines second company. Is it like collectibles? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Probably not. Game kicks off with an orc invasion on the Imperial Forge world of Greya. I'm going to assume it's Greya. I don't exactly know how to pronounce these things. Get wrecked. Wow, it's hip fire though. What's in this? Oh, that's disappointing.
Access authorized.
Ooh, pick up bolter.
The Emperor be with you, Space Marine.
Well, hold LB. We can change your guns. ID. So this planet manufactures Titan war machines. Where am I going? Through there.
This way, boys. I'm gonna kill him first.
Ooh. Basically, Titan war machines are, as they sound, giant robots, giant mechs, kaiju killers, some may say. Although, did this come before the kaijus? How am I not hitting them? Skyscraper-sized death bots. Pretty much. And the story essentially is going to dive into Titus's resistance to chaos, which I'm assuming we will potentially maybe see at some point on this playthrough. Let's reload. Do I have no, I don't have unlimited ammo. Like, I can for certainly say that there is a sort of clunkiness to the graphics, but to the gameplay.
This way! They got no way out of there.
Hello, Pedro. Are you still standing, Polly? There's a bit of recoil. Nothing crazy. I think he's dead.
Wounded.
The Codex Astartes warns against using jump packs to leap blindly into enemy fire, and for good reason.
Your days as a novice are behind you. Why do you still interpret the Codex so narrowly?
I looked at its rules for guidance.
We all do. But there are also benefits to thinking for yourself, Marcus.
Enemy sighted!
Something. Bring the shooters!
Alright, who's... I heard someone, but I didn't see him. So... I'm not entirely sure at what point my microphone was muted. But it was muted, so I'm going to repeat this last bit again. Because I'm stupid. It does feel clunky, like the whole movement, watch your sprinting and stuff, doesn't feel great. What we could do, however, just increase that sensitivity. I don't want to discard, I want to apply.
Sedona's picked up local Imperial Guard communications. They survived under the shadow of that gun. I want to know how.
What's this thing? So basically, we're playing as, for those of you who haven't played this game before, playing as a guy called Titus.
Keep firing!
He's a badass ultramarine. Ooh. He's running. Ooh. That was loads of... See, I couldn't figure out if they were shooting at that thing then.
My lord, you have saved us.
Essentially, we're kicking off on this island
Guardsman.
called,
You saved yourself.
or this Imperial Forge world.
You did.
Called Grey.
We would
Greyer.
be, my lord, if not for the lieutenant.
Where will we find this lieutenant?
At the front lines.
And on this
Follow the
planet,
trench
they
network to the
manufacture
lieutenant's command
Titan
bunker.
Carry
Titan
on,
war
Guardsman.
machines.
We will
Basically,
leave you with
skyscraper size and deathbot.
We need updated
So
intel.
think basically just massive mechs.
Through here, my lords. Head out the upper level and continue through the plaza.
The bunker is beyond
Story
that.
delves into the mystery of Titus's resistance to chaos corruption, which is a key plot. Doesn't fully get resolved. It gets saved for Space Marines too. And it's all about honor and duty. You know, loyalty
Remarkable.
versus chaos,
A few hundred against a million.
destruction
orcs.
and
They
madness,
fight on.
Only in death does duty end.
with some 40k
What?
existential dread
No. Get off! My legs.
and a moral
I can't feel my
ambiguity.
legs. I got to see
You
a
know,
Space Marine before the end.
as they all do.
Watch those who fight.
Bit of a hybrid combat, third-person shooting and melee. There isn't a cover system in this. Charge in, rip through hordes like a wrecking ball. Healing is done through executions, as we've seen. You got to stun them, execute them, and there's a
Captain,
little
I'm in position at a
orange
broken
go,
monument
you
near
know.
the guard lines.
whatever your eyes see. Plus sign that pops up above the head. About 6 to 8 hours of story.
Despite alien incursions, delinquency is an affront to the machine code.
I'd say it's very gritty, quite heavy hitting. But I want to talk. What I really want to talk about is this remake agenda, this cash cow. Because it is a cash cow. Let's be real. Another cutscene.
Sergeant, I see you found something to keep you busy.
Worry not, Captain. I've saved some orcs for you. The orcs have got that gun well defended, no mistake. But typical orc behavior would be to dismantle or destroy the gun.
And certainly not use it to keep our forces at bay. There's a strategy behind it. Their leader is no fool.
This day is getting interesting.
I may have encountered the Orc during our jump to the surface.
That was the orc ship I saw crash near here, I take it. Did he survive?
If the Horde hasn't turned on
Yes.
itself, it's still under his control.
Oh, savage. That is so satisfying. So yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there. There has been some crazy remaster boom over the last 10 years or so in film and game. Right? It's not just been exclusive to gaming. I'd say mostly in gaming. There's always been that sort of remaster spoke with games, you know, just to bring it up to current gen, especially on classics. Oh, orc smashing's very satisfying. Oh, hello, Mr. Schneebly. Good. There's definitely been a huge surge in remasters, though, and that is very obvious. We're talking dozens every single year. Some are lazy, some are brilliant. I'm yet to figure out what this is because I've never played the original, so I can't really advise.
Target that squig!
You definitely can. What is that? I'm out of ammo. This is never good. Leave me alone. So I've got to target this weird thing. Where's it gone? Running on this is so clunky. Oh, that wasn't good. So don't kick it, is what I can say from that experience. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, I see what we're doing here. How do I throw a grenade? Let's see, now, picking a gun up is very clunky. How do you launch a grenade? Did I just launch a grenade? Oh, I did launch a grenade. Well, the AoE on that gun isn't great. Well, that. Any more grenades? What's over here?
Dropship incoming!
Stop shooting me! Oh. Oh, wow. I didn't get to execute him.
Space Marines, thank you.
I need health.
Thought we were done for. Where is your commander, guardsman?
Inside, but the door is sealed.
I believe they will let us through. Imperial Guard, we are
Yeah, so
Ultramarines.
lately
Open
it's
this
like
door.
publishers have realised, wait, we already made this game once. People loved it. We want to polish it and sell it again. That's essentially what's happened. That's essentially probably what has happened with this game as well. The remaster boom is what I'm calling it. 2015 to 2025.
Working a second record. Another horde of the Greenskins.
There's a few reasons that
south.
publishers are doing this though. And it simply is that nostalgia sells. It's the exact same reason that Call of Duty brought back the dance. Because the game was suffering, the game was dead, and nostalgia sells. Millennials and Gen Zs grew up gaming,
Reinforce their position.
and now they've got
Hold
cash
the line.
and a soft spot for old classics. Like this game, for example. It's cheaper than new IPs. You skip a lot of risk by reusing assets, engines, and improving gameplay.
Thank the Emperor. Second Lieutenant Mira, 203rd Cadian Regiment.
Captain Titus of the Ultramarines.
You are in command.
I'm all that's left, my lord. Unless my commanders rise from the grave. So far, they seem content to stay put.
Lieutenant, the scouts have returned to forward base.
How many?
2.
Damn. I sent out 10.
Top 10 scouts.
Damn gun. We don't have the numbers to make an assault. And as you might have seen, it's shooting down all our support vessels.
That is why we are here. Leave the gun to us.
Come with me, then. I should warn you, my lords. We've got a slight orc problem down here.
Yeah, I think we've already encountered that. So yeah, it's cheaper than new IPs. New consoles need new content. So, and in this case, Game Pass needs content.
Adeptus Astartes. Access authorized.
What does that do? You now gain Fury. Every time you damage an enemy, once the Fury meter is full, you enter Fury mode.
What do you know of the Titans on this planet?
Only that our troops were sent to guard the Titan Invictus at Manufactorum Ajacis.
Yeah, so these remasters basically help pad out libraries.
We need to reach that
and
Titan.
in terms of Xbox Game Pass, remasters are padding out those. So I guess for stuff like Game Pass, this is the perfect kind of content. Remasters are really good content because they bring the old games to the new consoles anyway. And with recent, onslaughts coming from publishers about Game Pass basically ruining the industry and job cuts coming here and there. Maybe remasters are the way forward for stuff like Xbox Game Pass or PC Plus, or PC Plus, PlayStation Plus, Xbox Game Pass for PC. Maybe these remasters will pad out. Oh, that's one of my guys. No, we don't need to do that. I can just smash and bash. Was it Fury mode? Oh, yes. Get really wrecked, son. Should have stayed in that hole. What we got here? There is some form of collectible. Definitely need to increase your sense if you play this.
We need those damn packs.
And another factor behind remakes as well is game preservation. Not all of it is a cash grab. What are you doing? Oh, how did it not hit you two? There's a rock there. It's our dudes, right? Some games basically just deserve to be playable on modern systems. A good example of that is Mass Effect. Oh yeah, boy. Oh yes, boy. The Riggedy Rex done.
See you motherfuckers at the dance!
The Orcs hold the trenches beyond the ruins and the battlements beyond that.
And the gun battery?
The Orcs took it almost as soon as we got here, nearly 2 weeks ago. Our unit was the only one.
But yeah, in those senses, remasters are great. But we really need to, I think, cut down on what we're doing with these remakes. Well, that's one of my dudes. And think quality-wise. So I do think it makes sense to be doing this for stuff like Game Pass, especially if it means developers are keeping their jobs and can work on delivering us, top quality content. There's been so many games can in recent times, due to layoffs and, you know, budget cuts and whatever else is causing issues with people.
Access granted.
And some remasters really are good. So let's just look back at some of the remasters we've had. What would have been given? Stalker, Bolter. So Mass Effect Legendary Edition of 2021. We've had Alan Wake remastered in 2021.
That's where the orcs breached the gun battery. We haven't been able to make it inside the wall. There just aren't enough of us.
You have survived this long on your own, Lieutenant. You have done well. But you are no longer alone. We will retake the gun. You will get your reinforcements.
I'll hold you to that.
We've had the Crisis Remastered Trilogy. Where am I going?
We're heading back to the command post, Captain. Good luck.
This way? We've had The Last of Us, we've had Burnout Paradise Remastered, we've had Dark Souls, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and now 3 and 4, which is just about to drop, or just dropped on GamePass. I think it has just dropped now. What's he doing? Try and take them out, and we just get rid of them. Can I not go up here? No. Ooh, behave yourself, sir. I will leave him. Red Dead Remaster. We've had Final Fantasy, Command and Conquer. It's ridiculous the amount of remasters that we've had. And me just, I've not even touched the surface. Halo. Countless Resident Evil remasters. Demon Souls. Dead Space we've had a remake of. Silent Hill. We've got Metal Gear Solid. Snake Eater coming this year. And it's 100%, this is a full-on boom. We're right in the thick of it, right? From 2020 onwards, remasters and remakes started hitting AAA level hype, pretty much. Not just as a filler. They're now headline releases, though. We even get remake sequels. Final Fantasy Rebirth. And full remake trilogies. So, all the Resident Evils, 2, 3, 4. As well as the OG, you know? Even studios like From Software, BioWare, Rockstar and EA. Get out the way. They've all jumped in the bandwagon on remakes. And smaller devs are updating cult classics. Constantly. Night Dive has made a whole business out of this with System Shock, Turok. And I personally do think that, you know, fatigue is setting in. You know, there's a lot of gamers out there, me included, that's a bit tired of recycling content. Like, don't get me wrong, some of these games really do deserve to be remade. Especially if there's been enough space in between. But I think there are some games that do churn out games enough that they don't need a remaster. What's crazy to think is there's some games and it's like, okay, what would you look like today if you remastered? So the original Assassin's Creed, what would that look like today if it was remastered? So yeah, there's a lot of recycled content, but at the same time, when it's done right,
Charge.
It's a win. It's a winner. And again, I'm thinking Mass Effect, Resident Evil 2. Not today, buddy.
Once we get through these battlements,
You know,
use the breach
we're at a
caused by
point
the
now
rock
where you
to enter
can
the gun
relive
fortress.
old favourites without squinting at 720p textures. New gamers can experience genre-defining titles without digging out a PS3. So that accessibility to these games that we loved growing up, to the younger generation who never quite got to experience it. Well, that pathway open. You know, I definitely had a chance to play this at some point in my life, I just never did. Never fell into my kettle of tea. And essentially, it is a good way of keeping IPs alive between new entries. But that's between new entries, as long as there's been, you know, ample space. And I would argue the case that Metal Gear is probably a good one to do. Because we haven't had Metal Gear for a while. The last game was great as well. So it would be awesome to see some more Metal Gear content coming in. If that's a remake of Snake Eater for the time being, then also, I think Metal Gear is probably one of my first ever games I played. Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. Metal Gear Solid 1 being one of my most favourite games ever. Don't need to execute you, but I'm doing it. How dare you, sir? All of them. Job's a good one. No, is there a button to press? Yes, there is, when they're all dead. So, top 15 remasters and remakes to play on Xbox, guys. I'm going to give you a list, right? And this is based off online ratings and just general comments. Number 1, Resident Evil 2 of 2019. Masterclass in survival horror design. Atmospheric, scary, modernised, but still classic. Xbox Series X and S enhanced. High replay value, tight pacing,
Captain,
fantastic level design.
dropped in this area.
See, he landed with this, so why didn't he have it when he did? Number 2, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. All free. Hold beer. Hold beer. Got beer in the brain. Hold B to fire the jump pack. While in flight, tap RB to blast to the ground, killing or slaying most enemy targets.
Take to the high ground, Captain. We will deal with the orcs down here.
Oh, awesome. What do I do now? Oh, okay. That's what you get, boy. Oh, he blocked it. No, you naughty devil. That gives some damage, eh? Yeah, so Mass Effect Legendary Edition, all 3 Mass Effect games, fully polished with improved UI. I keep pressing the wrong button for that. Combat tuning and the DLC. Oh, that's satisfying. You fool. Did he just rocket his own buddy? Die. All dead. ID. Mass Effect is a must-play sci-fi trilogy, especially if you're into character-driven stories. And it's got huge value. It runs beautifully on modern hardware. What more can you ask for? Oh, wreck. Absolute wrecking ball. We'll go around here then. No goodies. Number 3 for you guys to check out. Dead Space of 2023. Full remake, visually stunning, intense, and genuinely creepy. Give me your blood. Dead Space uses modern sound design. There's no way you live. Oh, I'm not close enough. Or use jammy get. Oh, I reckon. Tweaks to the story and gameplay without ruining what made the original great as well. Next, numero 4, Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters 1 and 2. That was 2020. It's perfect nostalgia trip with tight controls and stick visuals, original soundtrack and some new tracks. Pure joy in a gameplay form, basically. Super polished, whether you skate in real life or not. It is fun.
No room for that.
Resident Evil 4 comes in at number 5.
Right into the gun fortress.
Faithful to the original, but better. Updated story beats, updated pacing and combat. Still one of the best action horror games now, with modern controls and insane visuals. So that's the top 5 right there. Next one comes in, I don't think it needs much introduction. The Last of Us Part 1, which rumoured to hit Xbox eventually via streaming and cloud. So look out for that, guys, right? Last of Us needs no explanation. Massive game. Just came in 6th. 7th, Command & Conquer Remaster Collection. That was in 2020. What am I stuck on? Number 8, Alan Wake Remastered. That came out in 2021. I'm hitting you with all these remasters now. All within the last 5 years. Number 9, Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Number 10, we've got Final Fantasy Remake. 11, Metro Redux. 2014 that was though, however, but it still holds up really well. Oh, I can't use my jetpack. Let's crack there then.
This fortress is swarming with orcs. Clearing this place will take days.
Those guardsmen cannot survive that
Number
long.
12.
We'll find a way.
Crisis Remaster
destroy the
Trilogy.
gun.
That's over 2021, 22. Sorry, over 2020, 21. And number 13, Resident Evil 3 remake of 2020. 2020, 2021 seem like the years for the remake. Like mass injection of remakes then. 14, Burnout Paradise of 2018.
Base Marine Recon.
Oh, is it GL or rocket launcher?
A vengeance launcher.
That sounds promising.
And then coming in last on the remake, well, not last, but number 15 on this remake spectrum is this game right here. Not the best for remaster technically, but the campaign still slaps. From what we've heard, and I'm enjoying the campaign so far. Meaty shooter, hybrid with chunky action of 40k low gore. Well, what happens now? Well, how does this work? I don't understand that. This is basically a shot. I don't understand how this... I maybe should have read the controls on that gun. Shit.
An armory. Sure to be something useful.
And I've got some dishonourable mentions as well, guys. Okay, these are the ones that have got really bad reviews. The GTA Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. A mess at launch, it was buggy, lazy AI, upscales, only recently has been playable.
Look here, Captain. Melter charges.
Put those in the right place, and this whole fortress will come down.
We could put the charge on one of the gun's shells.
Leandros, you do the chapter proud.
Releasing safeguard. Remember that we honor the machine god by exceeding.
Did I just do it? Oh, that's how you do it. So you got to press X. Silent Hill, the HD collection. Poor ports with missing effects and bad voice acting. And then we got Red Dead Redemption Remaster of 2023, which is basically a port with slight upscaling and very overpriced, pretty much, is what I can say. So normally when I do these sort of opening gameplay impressions, I'm on consensus. I do think that this
Shell storage is below.
This has still got the nitty-grittiness of a classic game. It's also got the clunkiness. Am I satisfied with the updated graphics? Yeah, I think the characters look great. The game still feels really quite old for me. Especially for this current gen, I would like to have seen, you know, a bit more. Oh, shizzle. Sorry, boys. Yeah, the game is definitely... Oh, wow. This gun? Sniper. I really need to get the hang of that.
About to run short of ammunition.
Like that weapon swapping animation really is very clunky. Who's shooting? You behind us? Got the way, boys. Like, it really does play like an old game still. But it's a bit difficult for me to compare this to the original because I never played it. So whether the graphics took a major, improvement, I couldn't really tell you. That's more for you to drop down in the comments. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this, especially in the last 5 years, this crazy amount of remakes we're getting? Do you think remakes will save some publishers and make stuff like GamePasses, more. Oh, these guys are at Fury. But how about Fury with Fury? Not today, Pedro.
Here, Captain. We need to get the shell into that loader.
Banner. Oh, here.
There. I will place the charge on that shell. Now to move the shell into place.
I think we're in a golden age of remasters, personally, and remake. Especially if you miss these games the first time round, like I missed this. I'm enjoying it.
We cannot rely on luck for this, Sir Donis. We follow the shell up.
It does feel
and make
old,
sure it reaches its destination.
It feels playable,
now
and
back to
I
the
think
lift.
that's the point. You're getting the best version with modern features without the ancient jank. And that goes for the majority of them. I'm playing it on my Xbox Series X. I can play it, cloud play it if I want. I can play it on my PC if I want. And most of these are buttery smooth, It's, some of these games people are playing at 60 FPS. With faster loads and enhanced visuals, so... But at what point do you call it, And there's more to come, right? There's more to come, and this is what. Here's a solid roundup of remasters and remakes that are coming. Then basically, so we have got coming this year in August, Gears of War Reloaded, the definitive remaster of the original Gears of War rebuilt for Series X and S with native 4K 60 FPS campaign and up to 120 FPS multiplayer. Tell me that is not going to be an absolute stonker. Anyone who originally played that is going to have the nostalgia feels for that game. We've got Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, we've already spoke of. Ooh, hold on. Not ready for that. Do you know what I even forgot to mention? Tomb Raider. That's recently been remade. I didn't mention all of them. Oh, that's the funny thing. I haven't mentioned all the remakes that are coming. We've just had Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster. Full overhaul using Unreal Engine 5 with ray tracing, improved AI, re-recorded audio, and the DLCs included. We've got Mortal Kombat, the Legacy Collection. And in the early development, we've got a Witcher remake. Early days, there's no release window for that. We've got another Final Fantasy remake. We've got Silent Hill 2 remake. Max Payne 1 and 2, which is supposed to come some point soon. And then we've got other rumblings, in the grapevine. Halo 3, Bioshock Trilogy. We've got another Red Dead Redemption to come for the second game. And this pipeline is packed. Major AAA revamps. With cult classic support. It's clear nostalgia. And nostalgia sells. And this year is particularly stacked. Publishers are betting big. If you're jonesing for something old and modernised, 2025 probably isn't going to disappoint you. So, the remaster boom is in full swing. And 2025 is a big, unapologetic flex year. You've got high-profile AAA games. You've got JRPGs, cult revivals, and even some under-the-radar games all coming. Stick to your favourite genres, but be ready for some serious nostalgia hits coming to Xbox Series X and S this year, guys. We are going to leave it here. We are, an hour in, and I like to keep these things to an hour. This has been Space Marines. And I've enjoyed it, I'm probably going to keep playing this. Play a bit more of it. I've never played it before. So Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine, Master Crafted Edition, available now on Xbox Series X and S by GamePass, or if you just want to purchase it. More guns. Right, ammo. But we're going to leave it here, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging around. If you like the content, if you're interested in what we spoke about, the remaster stuff, we've got plenty more content where that came from. So check out the other VODs. Drop a like for the algorithm. Follow if you enjoyed it. And I'll hit you up with some more interesting stuff next time. So please drop below your thoughts on this remake, remaster, boom, let's call it, of the last 5, especially the last 5 years, but the last 10 years, it's been in full swing, I'm telling you, and there's more to come. And I can guarantee you, we're probably going to get a few more years of it. But cheers for tuning in, guys. And I will catch you on the next one.